It's been a tough few days for farmers and growers on the East Coast. The region was battered by heavy rain last week, with many still recovering from the impacts of last year's Cyclone Gabrielle. Janina Schwanica was in Gisborne gathering stories for Country Life when the weather started to turn. She spoke to Vicky Croswell of the East Coast Rural Support Trust before the worst of the storm hit.
I am Vicky Croswell. I'm born and bred in Gisborne and I'm a country girl through and through. I am the coordinator for the Rural Support Trust in Te Tai Rāwhiti. We're a national-based organisation and in Te Tai Rāwhiti here we support farmers or landowners through adverse event or anything that they need information and help with.
Now, you started in the role just after the region was hit by Cyclone Gabrielle last year.
Yeah, so I left victim support in March 2023 and on the 6th of March I jumped into the Rural Support Trust here, so it was out of the fry pan into the fire, so they say. So yeah, it was hit the ground running. The need was just actually to know that someone actually cared and just to give them a little bit of direction, let some steam off. You know, in the initial days, it's, I guess a farmer wants to do so much, but there's very little that they can do due to access and weather and the condition of the farm. So the advice was, just sit, look, assess, do what you can, not what you want to do. We really highly recommended doing a list, put down what needed to be done, tick off what you've achieved. That was a high priority for a lot of people.
How has the need changed over the last few months as the cleanup has progressed?
Look, so much has been achieved, which is a credit to a lot of landowners. The progress is a lot of flat has been re-fenced, so it's usable land again. Just talking to a farmer the other day, he was stoked that he actually had paddocks that he could start using coming into winter, and then he was going to tackle the hill backcountry, which was another challenge that they were facing. But unfortunately with the weather bomb that's hitting us, that may be putting him back quite considerably now.
What's the mood like out there?
It's just another glitch in the system, as they say. Just take each day as it comes. Farmers will get through it. It is what it is. It's Mother Nature and there's nothing that we can do about it. It's just remain positive, keep the focus, and what is your on-farm focus? Everyone's different, just keep doing what they're doing.
Do you think farmers have changed how they talk about and, talk to each other after these type of events?
We're seeing a lot more gatherings in catchments, communities, little rural areas, which is great to see because it gives. We don't need an excuse to get off farm, but I think at a time like now and what we've been through in the past 18 months for sure, it's just getting people out, it's getting people talking. You don't have to talk about the cyclone, talk about everything other. I've attended a number of events and it's great to see the humour and the smiles and the banter that goes amongst. Everyone's looking out for everyone. They've got each other's back. Little communities, they're having the barbecues, the good old Kiwi, let's stand around a barbecue and talk. They're having potluck dinners, they're having fundraisers for their school or community, and it's really good to be a part of that.
And how are people feeling this winter?
They're pretty positive, I have to be honest. They're smiling, they're pretty chuffed in what they've achieved from the cyclone and moving forward. It's not an easy task at hand by all means, but I think they're all looking up. They're looking forward to, we don't want to say getting through the cyclone because you'll never forget it, but I say every day is an achievement, and I think that it's a positive move. We've been able to extend our team, so I have a facilitator out there. Look, we're still calling up driveways, doing cold calls, checking on people, and the feedback that we're getting is absolutely amazing. I still get blown away with the comments and the emails and the text messages that we're receiving saying, hey, look, it's really nice to know that someone actually cares. And to be honest, I kind of think that the region of Tai Rāwhiti has been forgotten you go out of your own region, and I sort of get a bit of on a downer when I hear, oh, you're BAU, you're back to normal. And I'm quite upfront and say, no, that's not the case at all. We're still struggling. I myself was caught up in the cyclone, and I know what it's like to sort of get kicked in the backside and, oh, you guys are okay. It wasn't that big. Well, actually, it was that big.
And your advice for those who've been impacted?
Be prepared. Have your grab bags and everything else. We don't know how this is going to turn out. The ground is wet, sodden, so we've got water lying where water wouldn't usually lay in the last 2 years. So the drains are full, the roads are wet, slippery, there's potholes that our roads are shocking at the moment. So yeah, just be prepared for anything that's at task. Keep up to date, social media, we're always updating our Rural Support Te Tai Rāwhiti page via Facebook. So, but please, if you've got any concerns for yourself or for your neighbours or anybody, just ring our 0800 number, which is 0800 787 254.
That was Vicky Croswell speaking to Janina Schwanecker. Last week's storm cut off parts of the region due to flooding, while strong winds took out trees and caused further damage. This week, though, the sun's been out, and Vicky says most farmers are still feeling quite positive with enough feed for the winter. The Trust is always just a call away and available to help those who are struggling. They can be reached on that number. I'll give it to you again, 0800 787 254.